Morning guys, it's December 29th, a little bit chilly here today, as you can see, cloudy, so it's supposed to stay like that all day. I think there's actually a chance of rain here in a little while, but I kind of picked out a few spots I want to make little runs to and kind of work my way towards the gravelway and then maybe end my day up in the gravelway. It's about 9:30 right now, so we'll kind of see what we get into. Got a little bit of wind on the water. Looks like it should be a decent day of fishing, hopefully. Water temp's about 50 degrees. I can tell it's also a little bit more stained from when I was here. I know it's been a crazy fall / early winter here. Temperature's been all over the place. They did get a little bit of rain the other day. I don't know exactly how much they got here, but water temperature is down just a few degrees from when I was here last. But hopefully that has slid some of the fish back to like the steeper banks and stuff towards the backs of the creeks. That's kind of where I'm going to start, but I'm going to work my way from the main lake all the way back and just kind of see what I get into on channel swings, rock transitions, and then if all else fails, I'll be going to docks looking for brush piles and stuff, trying to scrape up maybe a limit of some fish today. So we'll see what we get into. Solid one on the A-rig over a brush pile here on a secondary point. So that's a good sign. Hopefully the day continues like that. Right at 4 pounds. Let her go. Looks like another keeper on a jerkbait here. Towards the back of the pocket here, a little wind blowing in it. Just a straight white jerkbait. I like white when it's cloudy like this. Colors that are not very transparent is what I like to use. Doesn't have to be white, but white's what I like. So nice little keeper there, not bad. 282, just shy of a 3. Little guy. Another little guy in a brush pile. There's probably a lot of those little guys in some of these brush piles back here, but let's comb through them a little bit, see if we can catch any bigger ones. Another decent one, I think. That's a keeper. No, maybe not. Can't tell. I really saw it. Nope. It's hooked on the kind of on their side. Makes them feel a lot bigger on a jerkbait. Same bank. I'm just running back against the wind now. I can kind of slow down a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little short, but working it relatively fast. 2 to 3 second pauses probably. Still trying to figure out the cadence I want to use, but another short. Same thing, same spot. Just barely moving a little bit. Got cast my jerkbait right into a tree there. Wind got a hold of it. Another short. Dangerous. I have flashbacks. One time actually during a big bass bash, I buried a treble hook from a jerkbait all the way to my thumb bone almost. Thankfully Ryan and Nate were there to help me get it out. And this is kind of how it happened. All caught up. That last little short one was just on a dock corner with wind blowing on it. That's always, you can always usually catch quite a few fish doing that with the jerkbait, but you're gonna run through a lot of smaller ones in my experience at least, and spotted bass. So if you're ever looking for a keeper spotted bass, sometimes that's a good way to get after it. And I'm not saying they're all small. So you come across a decent 3 or 4, maybe even 5 pounder doing that every once in a while. shorty though. Nice dark one though. Been up in the shallows getting that sun. Enjoying that warm weather. Just been throwing some little jigs I've been tying. I'm working on a Shopify store, getting that set up so it's easier for people to buy stuff. But just a little hand-tied finesse jig. And I know I talk a lot about the Cracker Gator ring crawls, and I use those usually when the water gets cooler. It's right about 50 degrees, which is usually when I really start using them. Usually about 55 degrees, I kind of start phasing them in. But this little 7/16 ounce jig with this flat trailer is a lot easier to skip and kind of get to slide across the water. With that ring crawl in there, it's a little bit harder to get to skip underneath places. So I've been using, it's a Zoom Z-Crawl Junior, and I just trim it down and put it on there. And that's just a little bit easier to get it to slide across the top of the water. Oh, hung up on a rail. My line, that's good on it. Another shorty of a same dock brush pile here. Oh man, I broke off. Still have the Seagar on there. I never had a chance to get any line yet, so. Kind of had a little dry spell for a minute. Ran down a channel bank and kind of fished the other side, adjacent to where I was fishing. Didn't catch any. Went back over some brush piles, didn't have any luck, so figured I'd hop back in here and fish these last docks real quick before I eat lunch. Back here, there's another one. Try and get out of the wind at least. Another real short. I'm sure that's what took my pincher, but he's out of a brush pile on a kind of a bluff end. Spotted. There he is. Little shorty. I'm gonna call it a day here. I gotta get some stuff done at the condo, but pretty much did most of my damage on one bank or one stretch of bank, which starts to get a lot more normal this time of year. You'll find fish grouped up, find fish that are feeding that are grouped up, and just start catching a bunch. But they're still not, you know, as grouped up as they could be. The water temp here is 51.2. It's basically right at the dam. You can see the dam's right there. But you know, as I do start to draw the lake down, it'll get a little bit better. I'm gonna be able to fish tomorrow for a while. They're delivering some stuff, so I know tomorrow's supposed to be sunny, and I think in the 50s. So we'll see kind of if that improves the bite at all. But a lot of shorts. Biggest one today was 4 pounds, and then a 3-pounder. I probably had a couple of shorts that were close to being keepers, but nothing spectacular. Jerkbait and jig did most of the damage, and the A-rig caught the biggest one over a brush pile. And I ran a few things, a few brush piles, secondary points, similar to what I caught it on, and I didn't really have any other takers out of the brush piles. So sometimes it's just a matter of covering more water. I only hit, I think, 4 or 5 more brush piles on secondary points, so it's just stuff that I kind of knew where it was and swung past to see what happened. So we'll see what the fishing looks like tomorrow. Thanks for watching. So we'll see what the fishing looks like tomorrow. All right, guys, it is almost 1 o'clock. Finally got to get out here. I had to wait on some appliances to get delivered, but it's cloudy. I thought it was supposed to be sunny today, but it's not. It's a little bit warmer than yesterday, but I do know that there's a major cold front / snow ice storm kind of moving in. It's supposed to be here on Saturday, so hopefully tomorrow will be good. If this afternoon, I guess, almost said this morning, I'm going to run up straight to the gravel way. I've been saying I'm going to go there, and I never end up there because I end up fishing too much other stuff. So I picked out a Mill Creek I'm going to run into, start there, some nice channel banks, rock transitions, and let's see if we can get the classic winter bite going today. I'm still going to have the same baits tied on, basically white swim baits on the A-rig, I think, and white jerkbait, and then my little finesse jig, and I got a little football jig too, if I start fishing a little bit deeper water. So we'll see what we get into. There he is. About time. That was, oh, Spit it. Had one hooked up at least. It's better than what I've had. Finally, got one in the boat. But I gotta be catching more. That's like 2 hours of fishing without a bite. Or without a fish in the boat. It's no good. See you later, little buddy. There we go. Same thing, same spot as the last fish, just in between, kind of close to the bank. Gloves are nice, but they don't mix very well with the jerkbaits. It's nice, you can really grab a hold of the fish and they don't slip away from you, but they are dangerous. Just about 3.2 from the scale, so not a bad one there either. Oh, look at this, same size as my jerkbait. Heart of a 6-pounder, body of a, I measured him in ounces. Another little guy in between the docks there, right on the channel swing. Oh, that would be a keeper spot. They only gotta be 12 inches. Little guy, I lied. Little ones are liking the jerkbait. That might be a decent one if it's hooked good. Jump, jump, jump. It's a keeper at least. Cannot tell how good it's hooked, but it's digging, digging, digging. Oh, look at that. Spit the jerkbait right as I put it in the net. That's hilarious. It's right at about 3 pounds again, maybe a touch over. So, sweet. Well, that ain't a bad one. Ironically, that was my last cast. It said in my head as last cast, and I caught that. So I think I'm gonna end it on that. Basically, jerkbait was the only thing I caught fish on. And it took me a while to get dialed in on what to do. It seemed like the best bites were close to shore, probably from 2 foot off the bank to about 15 foot off the bank was where I got all my bites. This fish was on a secondary point, just in the pocket here, but the other 3-pounder earlier was channel swing, not actually on the steep part of the channel swing, or the channel bank I should say, but actually like where it swung away, so on like the shallower side. That fish was on pea gravel. Caught some other fish on pea gravel, same spots, exact same things. I never was really getting a bite on the real steep banks. Over there was steeper and I was caught 3 I think, but they were smaller. Anyway, if I was gonna do this again tomorrow, I would be focusing on channel swings or secondary points, just closer to the bank though, not real far out. All right, good morning guys. It's about 8 o'clock here, a little foggy, but I got just a few hours to fish this morning. So I'm gonna try and just kind of do what I did yesterday evening, see if that's holding true this morning. I'm gonna start in my pocket here, just fishing some secondary points on the inside of them where it starts to get a little bit shallower and flatter, and then same thing with some channel banks. All I got on the deck right now is a jerkbait rod and a jig. So we'll see what we get into. All I got. First one on a jerkbait. This fat little guy. It's a little shad, probably. First stop, little keeper spotted bass. Ate a little move over here. Work my way into another pocket. Starting at the secondary point, working my way in. sun was poking out a lot more than it is now. Kind of behind some trees, but I went ahead and changed it up to a Tennessee shad color. I'm pretty sure this is Tennessee shad, but you see it's got some flash. That's what I like. It's kind of transparent, and it's got a little bit of chartreuse on there, if you can see that. I like that a lot. Like that, or LG Bone is my other go-to color when it's pretty clear and got some sun. I like that color a lot too. They're right on the bank almost. I gotta cast in a foot of the bank or so. Tasty little fella. See you later, bud. Well, there's plenty to be caught here as well. See what's floating back here. Little one. They're all over behind these docks. All right, guys, that's a wrap for me. Fished for just under 2 hours. I don't know how many I actually caught, around 10 or so, but nothing big. Just a couple little keeper Kentuckys, and the rest were just short, largemouth. But jerkbait, caught one on a jig. Secondary points, inside secondary points, behind docks. Had to cast the jerkbait almost on the bank, within about a foot or two, and then a couple twitches off the bank is where most of the bites came from. So if you're coming up, that's something you can do. I'm sure you could run that all day long and catch fish and eventually come across some sizable ones. Probably get a limit doing that if you did it all day long. I know the weather's supposed to get crazy. Chance of snow, rain tomorrow, freezing rain, and then really, really cold, like low in the single digits tomorrow night, and then Saturday's like a high of 20 something. So that'll definitely kind of cool the water temperature off a little bit more, get it down in the 40s maybe. It's still hovering right about 50. So that's what it is. As I start to draw the lake down here in January and the water temperature does cool off, it will get better. The fish will get more bunched up, and hopefully should be able to catch some bigger ones. So I'll be up in next couple weeks here. I got to do some more work up here and then be able to fish a little bit. So till then, stay tuned. Thanks for watching, guys.